Salve, salve, guitar community! I thought I would share some of my concepts regarding the right hand of the guitar for this next lecture. Some of my beginner students and even intermediate students don't always pay attention to the right hand. However, playing the guitar is more than just chords, arpeggios, and scales. In order for the tools of the left hand to flourish, learning how to operate the right hand and coordinate this entire ensemble is critical. We have enough material to prepare 100 lessons on right hand technique. Although, I want to focus on one concept before moving to another one, and today it will be on arpeggio exercises. I'll briefly be discussing about the complete body relaxation and the importance of being relaxed at all times. First, I'll be showing some of my own exercises for right hand. Then some examples of how great guitar masters practice right hand arpeggios, and later, why getting really good at right hand arpeggios will help your playing. Ready? Let's go on a guitar journey. Do you wonder how some of the great guitarists of all genres are able to do incredible things with the instrument? How do they perform some of the most challenging pieces like It's Going for a Walk? How they transport all of their musical thoughts to the guitar like an instinct? It happens because of a combination of factors. An essential one is learning how to be relaxed. Proper body position and avoiding tension on the hands is one of the steps to getting to a higher level of playing. Sometimes you don't even know where you are putting the tension in your body. Maybe it's in the way you position your hands around the instrument, the chair you're sitting, how you hold the guitar. Sometimes I see some of my students bending their feet on the floor and alongside the chair. The thing is, everybody is different. There are some methods that work for some players but not for others. Nevertheless, the goal is to learn about the common methods used, be aware of how you play the instrument during practice, and most of all, find something that works for you. It may change within time. You may try something new and then go back to your old way. What cannot happen is for you to continue a practice routine without an understanding of how your body responds to the instrument. Let's take a look at a few slides that will show relaxed and tension right hand position and discuss what's happening. Here we have the first picture, and you see that the arm looks okay, but you see a little bending on the wrist. That's not good. You want to avoid that. That's a clear sign of tension. And some players do commit that mistake sometimes. So yeah, again, avoid that one. Now we have a relaxed wrist, but what I like to call the classic crab. All the teachers like to call that too. And you see that there's no way that you'll be able to make an easy movement because the hand and the end of the wrist is stuck to the body of the guitar. That doesn't allow you to move a lot, so avoid that position as well. Be careful. That's the position we want. Right now you see the hand and the wrist, they're flat. You see no tension, but there's that slight arch around the sound hole of the guitar. The hand is able to make the movement without creating any tension and without any barriers. It's not totally attached like the crab. You're going to understand a little bit more why we want that type of position more than anything else. Essentially what you're doing with the right hand is making the movement of a fist. See? There's a difference between this, I don't know if you guys can see it, and this. When you're playing guitar, you should always be thinking about this movement rather than this movement, rather just moving this part. So essentially, a lot of beginner students do this. I can't explain you many reasons why this is not a good way of playing the guitar. Here I feel basically you're not producing a very good tone quality to begin with. It's not very loud, not very clear. Second, basically you're not using the most of your muscle. You're not using your muscle efficiently. If you do this movement, you see that the finger automatically comes back to you just by leaving it relaxed. If you're doing this, you have to send a message from your brain to here to make this movement. So if you're playing something at a fast speed, something like this, you do not want to be sending 1,000 messages from your brain to your fingers to move this. Okay? Also, again, if you're playing guitar for hours, you need your body to respond and to do something that's kind of automatically. That's what this movement is, the movement of the fist. The way you position your body is also important to make sure that you're making that movement of the fist and that the right hand's it's okay. This is okay. Uh, if you're a classical guitarist, you probably want to use the footstool over there. I'll show a picture with that pretty soon. But as long as you are able to maintain that arm flat with the hand in that position, ready to make a fist, you're good to go. We have a slightly different movement. You see that my legs are crossed. That's also okay. I personally enjoy playing guitar like that sometimes, especially if I'm singing. I look more like I'm relaxed, laid back. I'm just in the living room playing the guitar. It does take some used to, but to me that's relaxing. You gotta find something that's relaxing for you. Now, if you're a classical guitarist, and if you're not a classical guitarist, that's a great position. That's my position when I have to play something that's extremely challenging. If I'm playing solo, I I've been practicing in that position for a number of years. You don't always have to use the footstool. There's a cushion or there's some kind of strap you can use, but as long as the guitar is angled up, uh, it's great for getting other sound qualities as well. I'm not going to get into that because we're going to move on to the arpeggios now, but I just want you to know and see what relaxed positions look like and how the right hand fits into all that. Hello. Now we're going to move on to my first exercise for the right hand and the right hand alone, folks. At this moment, do not think about your left hand. Just like in piano, when you practice hands separate, in guitar we do the same for now. So I'm going to move the camera here towards my right hand so you can see. Make sure you have a metronome with you. And again, this is my speed for practicing. Think about a speed that's good for you. Essentially, remember what we talk about during every lesson is practice at the speed of no mistakes. This is about control, not about how fast you can do. Okay? So as I go through the exercise, I'll explain more details. So here we have the metronome. And this will be the quarter note. And we're just doing an up and down arpeggio exercise. We're using P, I, M, A, M, I. And then P again. So here it goes. 3, 4. hope you notice a few things. First of all, again, it's just, I hope it's simple enough. The music's right there also to show you, indicating exactly what you have to do if you're just reading a score. But here you have P, I, M, A, M, I, and P, I, M, A, M, I, and so on. The things that I want you to pay attention, first of all, notice my right hand is relaxed, like we just discussed about earlier in the video. I have the little arch here. It's kind of difficult for the camera to catch everything, but we have it there. And second of all, I want you to pay attention what happens after I pluck the string. So as soon as I pluck with the thumb, it just rests on the A string, because next time the thumb plays a note, I'm using the A string. Now with I and A, the same thing happens. As soon as I pluck the G, the I finger goes back to the G. So that's really important to happen. If you have to do it extremely slow to get it right, please do so. Please even start without the metronome, as long as you're maintaining this type of movement, or where you pluck the thumb, I come back, M comes back, I come back. Okay? So right next we're gonna do the same thing, and this time we're gonna subdivide. Now we're thinking eighth notes. So here we go. 3 and 4 and okay, now we're going to subdivide once more. Now we're thinking triplets. So 3 lali, 4 lali. Great. Last part of the exercise. Subdivide one more time. We're thinking 16th notes. So 3 and 4 and one more time. The subdivision is tricky, even starting cold turkey. I think I wasn't quite sure where the beat was during the first time that I did the 16th note. That's why I did it again. But let me move the camera so you can see my face. But this is good to develop control. What's the secret to play fast, to have good speed, is to be able to control what you do, to understand. This exercise helps with that. In addition, make sure, move the camera once again, I'm sorry. Make sure you're planting. So planting means, at this moment, all you need to know about planting is as soon as you pluck the string with one of your fingers, prepare your finger to the next time that finger is going to work or is going to be used. So in the case of the thumb, if I use the thumb right here in the E string, and I know the next time I use it, it's the A. It's really simple. It's right here. It's already resting here. So you're saving time. You're preparing. That's what planting essentially means. Okay? Let's move on to the next thing. For the sake of time, I want to keep this brief. This is Mark Giuliani's exercise. This is one of his 120 exercises. And this is a chance for you to work on the coordination between the left hand and the right hand. And I'll start with those. You have the music there. please stop the video, make sure you're doing okay, and pay attention to how I'm still keeping the planting going. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, now this is another Mauro exercise. This one introduces using P and I being plucked at the same time. It's different. It's the first one that introduces that within the 120 studies you have available. They're free studies. Make sure you're practicing them at the speed of no mistakes. You use a metronome in order to acquire control. And right now I'm going to conclude this lesson by explaining why do we practice arpeggios, why they're so beneficial to guitar, and not just classical guitar, but all genres. Well, folks, thank you so much for sticking around and watching this mini lecture about right-hand arpeggios and about the right hand itself. I thought it was important to explain some of the concepts regarding how to position your arm, how to avoid tension on the wrist, how to avoid the crab, because without these concepts, you can't really practice the right-hand arpeggios in the way you're supposed to. The right-hand arpeggios are important because we use them all the time, especially in classical guitar. If you are playing the music of Mauro Giuliani, for example, we saw two of his studies. Basically, if you study those exercises, by the time you get to a literature piece, hopefully some of the movements will seem familiar. So that's one of the goals. The other reason, for example, in pop music, often I go record for other artists and they want a counter melody to what they're already doing, something different, a little color. Doing a right-hand arpeggio pattern, just using simple chords, maybe a different voicing, will add a lot to the piece, a lot to the music. So it's a resource, and you can never have too many resources. So there's more to right-hand arpeggios and to the right hand itself. I promise in the next few lectures I can devote more time to other concepts, but this is an introduction. So if you have any questions, please get a hold of me through email, check my website, and please send me some feedback. If there's something that you'd like to learn, I'm here if I can help. So thank you, stay flame, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Ciao.